Up with Pride 2023. I am your host, Sporadic Erratic, and I am so incredibly hyped to be here. We have a bunch of amazing runs coming up for y'all. If you're in my time zone, they're overnight, but if they're not, whatever time zone you're in, happy time zone. I hope that you've been enjoying the marathon. And what we do have coming up for you is a Love 3 100% run. It's going to be so cool. We also have a cute little incentive for that to choose the flag color. You probably have 30 seconds to do that. If you want to get a donation in and snipe it, you should do that now because there's so many awesome flags that could be up on the screen. You could donate for that right the hecky now. If you are just joining us, you are watching Power Up with Pride 2023 here on Twitch. We are running from June 23rd through June 25th, 24 hours each day. We're benefiting the Trevor Project. To find out more about them, you can find the link to their site in the panels below the stream or use !charity. If you're interested in donating, you can type !donate in chat. Find the schedule by using !schedule or incentives with !incentives. Now, I'm not going to waste any more of your time because I know the runner is ready to go. Hello, Charbunny.
Hello, Sporadic. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing so well. How are you doing?
Doing good. Definitely a little nervous, but very excited and happy to be joined by a friend of mine, Lizzie Berry. Lizzie, would you like to say hello?
Hello.
Awesome. Now that we've all greeted each other and the audience, welcome everyone. My name is Charbunny and I'm going to be speedrunning a game called Love 3. That's right, Love is so great they made it 3 times. We're going to be doing the 100% category today, which means we will be getting every single secret in all of the 25 levels that we'll get to showcase. As Sporadic mentioned, there was a bid war to tell us which flag style we are going to be using for the game today. Sporadic, would you mind letting me know which flag style is going to be our winner?
I'm wildly hyped to let you know that the ace flag is the winner today.
Oh, all right, let's go.
Surprise, who watched the previous run.
Let's go, Ace Friends. All right, I believe this is the asexual flag. Please let me know if I got it wrong. I just want to double check I'm good to go before we keep moving.
That looks good to me. That looks like
Awesome.
the proper flag.
Okay, awesome. Thank you everyone for donating for that. Really appreciate it. I'm so glad we get to do this run in style today. With that, we're going to jump into time attack mode. You're going to see me start and pause, and you get to already hear the first level music, which is fantastic. That's because the background, actually, I'll go back. The background right now, this is level 1. You're already seeing it. Spoilers right off the bat. And you'll notice that this menu that we're on right now covers up a whole bunch of the background of level 1. But if I go here and go to restart, I can actually see all of the platforms I'm hitting first. So I always start the run from this particular spot, and so that's where we're going to get started today. But with that, Lizzie, Sporadic, are you ready to go?
I am so incredibly ready.
Tutorial.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
I'm actually not going to. I'm going to challenge chat to keep up with me this time.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
I thought about it, but I think we can do it.
Okay.
All right. With that, I'm going to give us our countdown. We are going to get started, and we're going to count down from 3 because it's Love 3, obviously. So 3, 2, 1. Go! All right, so this is Love 3. This is a precision platforming game that released, I believe, last year pretty recently. The things I can do to this game are I can run, I can jump, and I can set checkpoints. These checkpoints are these little sort of floaty things that you see behind me, those little static versions of myself. I can at any point in time go back to those. If I die, that's where I'll go back to. Now, because we're speedrunning, I can actually death warp, which is what I'm already going to be doing here. So I set a checkpoint over there. I'm now going to be going to our first secret area. This area wasn't here until I activated it through a series of movements in this level, and then I can death warp all the way back to the exit. So it's great because setting your own checkpoints not only makes this a very fun casual run where I can have a lot of safety, I don't have to do sections over and over that are frustrating, but it makes it a really fast speed run because I rarely, if ever, have to backtrack. Now for 100%, there's a lot of different ways to activate the secret areas that we're going to need to get into. For this one, we take this gear, we carry it across the gap, and when it hits that little V shape in the ground, that's what activates the secret area. So in each of these, there's going to be activating the secret area, and then there's going to be entering it right there and getting the secret itself. Now we're going to see that shape a number of times. It's not always our secret. So this is the first level where we see just a key, and that just allows us to progress in the level. But we don't always have to get those either because we actually have a way to clip through some of the walls in this level, which is what I'm going to attempt to do next. I think I was a little bit late there. We're going to try it again. Here, if I jump on this slope, I can just barely get through the ceiling before that cannon starts to catch up to me. And that lets us skip a decent chunk of this level. Now I have to activate the secret area. I'm going to do that by jumping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times through that jump rope. And now look, this was not here before. This wasn't part of the level until I activated that section, but there's our third secret of the game, already moving pretty quickly. This next level is going to be our introduction to water physics. So this works pretty much like you'd expect from a platforming game. Moving left and right doesn't change much, but now I have to sort of jump to swim. And if I'm not swimming, I'm falling. So here, our secret areas are going to be this top left and top right. They might look pretty empty, but as we get closer, you'll see those keys spawn in. That's going to unlock our secret area. So now we've got to go all the way back up to the top of the screen. A lot of the secrets don't necessarily spawn in the most convenient of places. And here, this area on the right is going to be our secret area. I'm going to warp back and might not be able to catch this water block cycle. Yeah, it's kind of running away from me, so we'll wait for it to get back. At the bottom, you can see that giant block of water is just floating in midair. That is one of the properties of water in this game. It can just do that. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I love how much the flag really shows up as you're moving through the water there, though. Here's our first conveyor level. The conveyors do move at your running speed. So if I'm running against them, I will not move at all without jumping. If I'm running with them, then I actually get twice as much speed. Here, there's a few missing pixels in that blanket of white that would murder us normally. And that's our clue that that's our secret area that we can get to for here. With this kind of introduces the plot of the game a little bit. We are in the middle of a post-apocalyptic factory and we are trying to shut it down. But actually, shutting it down is for any percent. We're going to try to blow it the heck up. That's going to be our goal at the end. We'll see if we get there when we get to the 100% screen. This level, though, is pretty tricky. So Lizzie, would you like to take over from here?
Yes, so this level is the first real evidence that we get that this game is extremely cycle-based. You can see that all of these platforms that she's jumping on go from blue to white, and as she referenced earlier, white really likes to kill us in this game. So she jumps around and she's standing on specific platforms so that she can turn on the secret area in this level. That's why you see her jumping down here, and then she's gonna go ahead and she's gonna set a checkpoint on each of these for safety. But she's going to leave it behind there on that specific one so that she can warp back because that's where the secret area opens and she's out of this level. This next one is very clearly influenced by Donkey Kong. As you can see, we have the rolling balls and we're going up and down the level. This first part is really easy. She just is chasing these rolling boulders or balls or barrels, you know, if we were in Donkey Kong. She does like to jump around on each of the areas though, so she can try and catch up to them, get just a little bit extra speed here. As she climbs up, this is more evidence that this game is cycle-based because she likes to stop and put a checkpoint there. That gives her a really nice cycle to avoid all of these barrels. She also puts a checkpoint behind each of these trampolines because that's a safe spot because the barrels are going to hit the trampoline and go up. She's going to go ahead and hit the last secret key checkpoint, whatever you want to call it there, and then she's going to hop her way all the way up these instead of taking that exit right there. Which will allow her to fall all the way down this level into the secret area to collect the secret itself. Then she'll warp back and she's gone.
Awesome, thanks. Yeah, there is so much that's happening in this game, but it's so much fun to play. This level is very much about these little circles. They are all over the place. They are in so many different arrangements. And then we get to these triangles. The triangles, I don't know if I got the secret, so we're just going to be careful and make sure I did. The triangles in this game are trampolines, and they'll give you momentum in the direction that they're pointing. But different parts of the trampoline can give you slightly different momentum, so it can be tricky to get them consistently. So we've got different strategies on which direction we're holding, which trampolines we're trying to hit to make sure we can get those without too many problems. This level introduces gates. As we step on these buttons, the gates will go up or down. We have to go back for the secret here. And what we're trying to do is push the button down for the minimum amount of time possible to get the gate out of our way. The longer we're on the button, the more we're not really moving, so we only want to move them as much as the tiniest fraction open so we can kind of squeeze through that gap. I'm giving them a little bit more clearance today because this is a marathon run, but in ILs, you are really cutting these things nice and toastedly close. This is my favorite level in the game. It's very bouncy, it's very yellow, and shout outs to Final Fantasy IV. Earlier this event, this was the final boss in that game, thanks to Scala Kitty's incredible sprite artwork. With that though, in our game, this is a pretty straightforward level, so Sporadic, I'm gonna toss it over to you.
All right, well, I want to remind everybody that we have all kinds of incentives you all can be donating towards right now, including one for one of the games coming up. It's not the next one, but the one afterwards. I'll invalidate your aid. Y'all can choose what mini game is going to be played in that. There are so many. There's a tabletop RPG, Dark Souls fantasy RPG, Lost and Found, mashing, and strategy RPG. There is a single donation of a single $1 for the tabletop RPG. So y'all can snipe the absolute heck out of that if you're feeling strongly about which minigame gets played, and I'll invalidate your aid. Now, of course, we have some things to unlock as well. In Transistor, we want to play with the dog. I don't really feel like I need to say anything else about it, but I will say we'll be going to a beach. The beach has a dog. We can play fetch with the beach ball, and the incentive will be for us to play with the dog in Transistor. We're looking for $100. We're at $70. We're so close. We only need $30 for that. Please do remember when you're getting your donations in for the Trevor Project that those incentives don't click on themselves, so please do click on a few of those. Let's unlock some more of Power Up with Pride.
Thank you so much for that. The last level that we were on, I insist is pinball. Lizzie doesn't. So we've been having a very interesting discussion offline about this one. Feel free to let me know in chat what you think. But this level is definitely not pinball. This level is all about falling down. So there's a couple different routes that we take through to get all these different buttons. We do have to warp around because the buttons are not possible to get on a single fall through, I guess, as opposed to a playthrough. So we end up warping back to the top, leaving a checkpoint in place. But there we go. That was our secret for this one. These double trampolines will give us twice as much speed. So they're really fun. We go really fast on them. The flag just kind of zooms out behind us and it's all fantastic. Lizzie, can you talk about boxes, please?
Yes, this next level is all full of boxes. If you have been paying attention, White in this game likes to kill you, so we're just going to go ahead and destroy all these boxes. Incidentally, destroying all of these boxes clears the way for Char, but it also opens up the secret area in this level. It's really interesting, unique mechanic. This very first part where she was multitasking the guns is a totally brand new strat. It's only been around for like a month or so, where normally she would clear all of them in one area before moving on to the next one. So that's a really cool new strat that saves like 15 or 20 seconds. It's really great. This is the longest like checkpoint that she does, based on how long it goes before she actually warps back to it, because she has to clear out all of these boxes. So this is why she's having me commentate this level specifically, so she can focus on clearing out all of these boxes, because there are 2 times in this level where she has to be able to clear off boxes off screen, and she needs to be able to pay attention to that. Once she clears all those, we come over here to open up the secret area. She avoids these little fire sticks as if we're in a Mario game, and then she heads on out to the exit.
Yeah, and that was a checkpoint that we had to work back to twice even, so it's terrifying to see if we can get that one. But now we're on to helipods. Do you want to talk about these too? Because this level's not any less scary.
Yes, helipods. Helipods are described as as Flappy Bird meets a shopping cart with a wobbly wheel. They are just incredibly challenging to maneuver. They are very physics-based motion. They have, as soon as you start going one way, you're going to keep going that way. It's really hard to change your direction. So her maneuvering around this level is absolutely incredible that she's able to do this with such precision. She's going around and hitting all of the secret panels because they're in very odd spots in this game, or in this level specifically. Like sometimes they're, you know, fairly reasonable to find, but in this one, I have no idea how she found it to begin with at all. Once she unlocks all of those, she comes up to this very far away location full of, which is really hard to get to because of all the small little areas that she has to go through, and then she's out.
All right, and this level would be a really long one. You can see there's a whole bunch going on the screen. There's like 4 different areas, but we're gonna not do any of that if I can pull this off correctly. Flying a helipod horizontally is not easy, but it is fast. And so if we do this a couple times, we'll not only be able to get the secret down here, but we'll be able to skip this entire level and just leave. What we're supposed to do is activate a whole bunch of little trampolines that will give us enough momentum to go through this gap. But what if we just didn't do that and instead skip the entire thing? So that level's really fun. This one, shoot, I call this one the IKEA level. It's very tricky. There's all these like do not enter signs everywhere, and there's going to be a lot of different weird spots that we have to hit. But it's also very cycle based. So as soon as we miss a cycle, we get to start improvising onto where to go next. So I'll wait here a little bit patiently, but you saw we got a spot down at the right. There's another one up here in the top right, this little plus there. There we go. Now it's active. And now we get to keep moving through this. We're gonna get to a section where we get to go sort of up and down twice, which is gonna be kind of fun. So here, gotta avoid some of those downward trampolines. Those would toss me into the pit. And here we're gonna go up. There's a plus on the left side, so we're gonna fall down. We're gonna work back to the top, fall down on the right, and that's all of them. So now this area suddenly becomes active. One thing to note is this is the level with the longest cycle in the game. This ending here, you just gotta wait for it. Depending on when you hit, like all the aisles are really clustered around that specific time. Here we get to the red level, so named because it's red. The levels don't actually have official names, but you can imagine why I like to call this one this. And it's very much about circles and triangles, and specifically triangles on top of circles. And the reason that can be a struggle is because the triangles sort of let you fall through them a little bit before they activate, whereas the circles will kill you instantly. So when you're trying to jump off of those trampoline triangles, sometimes you don't quite get landing in the center of them enough. You'll fall through them a little bit and you'll end up falling to your death on the circles instead. So very tricky to land on top of those like fire bars there at the end. Oh, I didn't quite make my cycle. This is fine. I'm just gonna be patient. I was not patient enough. That's okay. Getting off cycle in this game always makes things really challenging to deal with. So ideally, if I just kind of go smoothly through, you'll notice everything lines up. I know when to jump, but if anything comes off cycle, that's when it really starts to get tricky. Here, I'm gonna leave a checkpoint there and try not to die all the way through. So with this game, you can set checkpoints pretty much anywhere, and that's fantastic for safety, especially on a casual playthrough. But when we're speedrunning, anytime I set a checkpoint and leave it for a while, I start to get nervous because if I die, I lose a lot more time. But we managed to make it through that one successfully. In this level, as we get these different key items, these little things over here, parts of the level will disappear, and that lets us advance. Here, we get to see that helipods do explode, and they can actually take out some of these breakable walls. When helipods explode, however, they actually don't hurt our character. Our character's invincible whenever that happens, so I have to manually death warp every single time I crash into one of those walls to set us back up to get another helipod to try again. So we cleared out the bottom area first, which is going to be where the secret area is, but now we have to activate it with this key. From here, I can go back down, get the helipod, fly it carefully around these obstacles, warp back to the one over here, and hopefully get out of here with no problems. Our next level is going to be the closest thing we have to an auto-scroller. We can speed it up because as we stand on these buttons, it will make these rotating boxes move a little bit faster, but since this is an auto-scroller, sporadic, another great time for you to chime in.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to talk about another incentive I didn't have time to talk about the other time, which is for Lone Fungus. We have a custom texture showcase that we are looking to unlock, which of course, if it's met, the run will be done with custom textures. We need $100 to unlock that, and we have $1. I know y'all can get some more donations in for the Trevor Project. I just know it. I know there's going to be some more donations before the end of this marathon, so why not put them towards unlocking that custom texture showcase so we can see those in Lone Fungus, which I have never seen before, but what a name. I can't wait to see this game.
Right? I haven't seen it either, but I want to see those now. Like, that just sounds fantastic.
Right? Is it like a lonely mushroom? I gotta see it.
Awesome. Yeah, everyone, please make sure !donate in the chat. This is such an incredible cause to donate for. So not only is this helping you send your messages to the stream, say hi to everyone, helping us meet those incentives, but oh gosh, is it making a difference that we really need in the world right now. So just thank you everyone who's donated so far. Thank you everyone who's planning on donating it. It's so much appreciated. With this level, we get a whole bunch of these double bounces. It's all about being really high up in the air and falling a whole heck of a lot. With that though, there are these ghosts, which are these sort of like fluffy, not really fluffy, I guess things with trails over here. And the thing that's, oh gosh, we're in a spot now. The thing that's annoying about them is they move in slow-mo after I get that secret activation. And while that seems like it would make them easier to dodge, in reality, no, it just means that they're going to be in our way for much longer. So anytime they're in a spot we don't like, they're just going to be there forever. With this level though, Lizzie, can you help me explain this one?
Yes, I can. This level, as you can see, has more cycles. Hey, surprise, cycles. When you land on one of these platforms, they go down and then they start to turn white and then they will go back to their original position. Char has to navigate this entire way so that she can touch each one of these side panels where there's 6 white dots that turns to 3. So that's how you know that you have activated all the like secret keys for that platform. There's like 10 of these platforms that she has to hit. So she's manually maneuvering through all of these areas, cleverly not hitting the white floor below or above her as she goes. She goes ahead and pops up here for these last 3 here and warps back down to open up this secret area right here. Then she just has to navigate through all of these platforms here, and then she will warp back. Interestingly, this one spot right here is much faster to climb up than down. Normally falling down would be faster, but in this one instance, because of the way that the platforms work, it's much faster to just go up because they get in the way on the way down, and then she just has to leave the level. This next level is eyeball unicycles. As you can so see, it is triangles on top of the rolling circles, and once again, we're in cycle world. The unicycles travel at the same speed that she does, so she wants to try and stay as close to the front unicycle as she can get as she hits all of these different secret key areas so that she can make her way into the secret area and collect the secret. From there, she just has to navigate her way out. And I say just, but this is actually the most tricky part because she has to avoid those ghosts right there, which can be very, very problematic. And then she's out.
Yeah, those ghosts were very polite to me, but the ending was not. I'm glad we didn't make any get stuck there because you can be stuck for a while. But here we're back to helipods and exploding walls again, a classic. Thankfully, another helipod's going to spawn for us, and that's going to go through all these different sections. You can see there's some trampolines. You can do this left side of the level without the helipod, but you can't get the secret, which is activated up there. And then we come down here. Oh, well, we almost came down there. That was a fun hitbox. We need to get the secret, and then we have to do this a second time. It takes a lot of practice to be able to fly this helipod through these like opening and closing gaps, but doing it is a huge time save compared to doing this with the trampolines, and honestly easier once you get the hang of it. So I'm glad that works in this game. Here we're on the second to last level. This is going to be our last secret. The final level does not actually have any secrets, but we do need to complete it sort of the normal way, and I'll explain that when we get here. This level has guillotines. That's its unique mechanic. Every single level kind of has its own style, its own different mechanic, which is one of the reasons this game is so much fun. Shout outs to Fred Wood, the developer. Shout outs to James Bennett, the composer, because the music's also awesome. But here we go, approaching the final level of the game. This one is set up similar to 15, which is the one we kind of skipped, where there are 4 different sections that we need to complete. Each of them kind of has an amalgamation of things we've seen in previous levels. So these moving platforms from level 2, cannons from level 3, water from level 4, as an example just in this first area. This is also the next time we get to see clipping through the ceiling. So I'm going to take this helipod up here, and because there's a slope, I can actually jump up through the ceiling and skip having to redo the auto scroller part of the level, which is fantastic because that would have been a slow one. Here we're going to go up to the left, and this is where I mentioned there's a difference between any percent and 100%. Even though there are no secrets on this level, hitting the button in the center, which is how we're going to finish this stage, counts as a single percentage point. And that is because a skip was found that lets you completely ignore everything in this level, and none of us like doing it for 100%, and the developer was nice enough to add in a 1% patch so that you have to finish this level correctly. But here we go, here's our final button in the middle of the screen. The machine exploded. That's very important because that means we actually did get all the secrets. I was a little nervous about missing them. Time is going to be coming up soon when the timer fades out on the next screen, which will be time. There we go. Whew.
GG.
Thank you. Oh gosh. So this is the good ending of the game. I mentioned the story briefly. We just blew up the apocalyptic machine, and because we did it with all of our clone friends, we now have a whole community to go out into this desolate, snowy wasteland with and start a new life together. So I love that we get to see the collaborative, friendly ending to this game. That is the true ending. That is the 100% ending. In a moment, you'll get to see that that is, in fact, 100% of the secrets on that screen. Under 100 deaths. That's the first time in a while I've got that to work. A lot of those deaths are death warps, but that's still really exciting. If anyone out there wants to donate $1 or 10 cents per death, 99 is the number you're looking at. But yeah, that was Love 3. I'll go back to the title screen so we have some music to outro us here. Lizzie, do you want to do a shout out or two? Like let people know where to find you?
Sure, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/LizzieBerry22. That 22 is very important because Lizzie Berry, you know, I don't know what she does. I think she just lurks, but the 22 is very important. I am a VTuber cat girl, and I hang out there all the time. I'm playing Final Fantasy 16 right now.
And my name is Charbunny. I stream at twitch.tv/char_bunny. Also do a lot of things with hosting, so super excited to have gotten to host for this event as well and do commentary earlier today. I mostly do this game as well as Super Mario Maker, which is another fun platformer. But thank you, Lizzie, for being here on comms. Thank you, Sporadic, for being here as host. And thanks to all of you out there for watching. Please make sure to use the ! donate command. Keep those donations and support coming through and stick around because, oh my goodness, there are so many good games today. So thanks again, everyone. I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you so much, Charbunny, for that amazing Love 3 100% run. And as she said, don't go anywhere. We have all kinds of amazing games coming up for y'all. On deck, it's Origami with Amerlin.